Poverty guidelines. I'm going to be petitioning next year or this year. I want to know how much my sponsor should be making to sponsor me for the affidavit of support, because eventually he has to give an affidavit of support. If I'm living in the United States, I'm filing a form I-130 or 485, adjustment of status. He has to file the form also, the IA-64, which is the poverty. He has to go by the poverty guidelines. Never mind, that's my cat talking, the talking cat. If you hear something, that's my cat. And as you know, his name is Avalanche. So if I'm going to be petitioning by a sponsor, by my husband, mother, father, or brother or sister, I have to know how much the poverty guideline is. If in my household there are 3 members of the family, he should be paying taxes on $28,000. If he's 3 members of the family, $28,787 or about. Now, if the person is in the U.S. Army, or any family members are in the U.S. Army, any member is in the U.S. Army, the person should be making only $23,030 if they are in the U.S. Army. The poverty guidelines is less, much less. Now, if there are 4 members in the household, if it's an aunt or an uncle or a family member, other kind of family member that is not in my household, I know the structure of the family household. I should know that if there are 4, if they're in the U.S. Army, they have to make only about $27,750 to be exact. And if they're not, all others, if it's $34,687 that they have to pay on the AGI on their taxes. So you have to keep that in mind if you are going to be a sponsor, or if you are going to get a joint sponsor, how much that joint sponsor it has to make on their taxes to be able to sponsor me or be another member of the sponsorship. Now, if there are 6 members in the household and the person is in the U.S. Army, the poverty guidelines for 2022 says that it's going to guide in 2023 as well. It's going to be $37,190. If the person is in the U.S. Army. Now, all others that are in the U.S. Army and they have 6 members of the household is only about $46,487. $46,487 to be exact. So if I'm looking to be a sponsor by a husband and wife, or mother or aunt or uncle, or maybe somebody else is a friend of mine is willing to take that responsibility, and I know that there are 8 members in the household, and the person is in the United States Army, he has to make only about $46,630. If it is 8 members in the household, 8 members, including the sponsor, 8 members, and one of them is in the U.S. Army. Now, if they are not in the U.S. Army, outside of the U.S. Army, and if there are 8 members in the household, it's $58,287. $58,287 they have to be on their taxes in the AIG. Okay, so we have to keep that in mind. If we're going to be a sponsor, if somebody's going to take the responsibility for us to sponsor us, to be a joint sponsor as well. Now, all other, if you want to add a member, another member, depending on the size, if the person is in the U.S. Army, you have to add to that information if it $4,720 if they are in the U.S. Army. If the person is not in the U.S. Army, it's $5,900 for each additional beneficiary of the sponsorship. Okay, I'm Jacqueline Santos, Tax Preparer to your service. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to like this video, comment it, ask a question, seeing the video and asking the question, and we'll be happy to answer. Thank you very much. Have a good night.